dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Mitchell Garag.
And I'm Callie Rainey. Today is Thursday, September 10th.
Let's check in with meteorologist Chris Johnson for a look at your forecast this morning. Always great to see those records there, although I go to check out CDs at the library occasionally. I don't know about you guys.
No, you know, I've moved on with technology. Mitchell, I'm all with the MP3s. So I can't say that I go to the record store and get the vinyls or the CDs. I think I just get online and hit.
You mean you don't get cassette tapes?
No cassette tapes, but you know, those were the good days.
Yeah.
I do remember those, and
too.
I actually, as a kid, listened to lots of cassette tapes. So
remember turning the tape over? You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
We've come a
long
rewinding
way. It.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just hit stop, play, stop, play.
Which is how we actually still edit, so, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's get you over that visibility map this morning, guys, because we are tracking some fog issues along with lots of rainfall. First off, this fog, though, pretty dense in some locations, especially across portions of Jackson heading northward towards Rowan County along the I-64 corridor. Reduced visibility is less than a mile for some folks. Otherwise, we're seeing lots of green on the radar. It is a busy morning across central and eastern parts of the state. Some moderate rainfall now working into Somerset, passing through London. That's going to be tracking towards the north and east, eventually heading into our area, and that's going to provide for a soggy commute. So please allow a few extra minutes on that dry time as you do tackle your Thursday. A pinpoint Doppler regional shot showing you that cold front that came through the area yesterday or last night. It actually began to pump on the brakes a little bit. So we're seeing this stationary front here. Upper level disturbance is moving across eastern Tennessee into eastern Kentucky. That's really ramping up our rain showers across the viewing area, and that will continue through the morning hours before we'll see more scattered showers take over this afternoon. And eventually we'll dry things out through the overnight period and into the first part of your Friday before, yes, more rain makes its way back into the area. Now, temperature-wise, we're pretty mild to start things off, upper 60s and lower 70s. But temperature-wise, we're not going to climb much higher today, only topping out at 76 degrees, along with the chance for more of those scattered rain showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but I think better chances for a few thunderstorms will arrive into our Friday afternoon and into Friday evening. And yes, no worries there, nothing severe expected. And then the big cool down ahead, especially for your Saturday and Sunday. And of course, I'll have more details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Police say a surveillance video showed a man on camera stealing a donation bucket from a restaurant in Middlesboro.
But thanks to tips from the community, police were able to make an arrest. As WYMT's Caleb No reports, no matter how much money was stolen, it still makes a difference to the Salvation Army.
Authorities are thanking the public for their help in finding the man accused of stealing a donation bucket from the Middlesboro Dairy Queen.
Due to multiple calls from the public, we identified the suspect as Manford Saylor from out of Wallens, Kentucky. A warrant will be obtained for his arrest tomorrow.
It was money that was supposed to go to the Salvation Army. And although there was only about $10 in the bucket, officials with the Salvation Army tell us that can go farther than you may think.
$10 can provide for a family at least one meal, if not multiple meals. And so by someone coming in and taking that, it literally does take food off of someone else's table or, from somebody else's plate.
Managers at Dairy Queen say they believe it was an impulsive decision. They say it began with him walking in and ordering a milkshake just as any other customer might do.
Saylor is the only one shown in the surveillance video, but we're told there was a woman with him.
They paid for their stuff, then it shows him leaving the store, coming back in, looking around and grabbing the Salvation bucket, sticking underneath his shirt. He went to the bathroom. And after he went to the bathroom, he walked out the front door with it.
Police say charges are pending. In Bell County, Caleb No, WYMT Mountain News.
Saylor was arrested last night and faces drug charges in an unrelated incident. Police took him to the Harlan County Detention Center. A man once sentenced to life in prison will now only serve a 20-year sentence. A jury convicted Brandon Sluss of murder in 2011 for a crash in 2010 that killed Destiny Brewer and injured 3 other people. However, last December, the Kentucky Supreme Court overturned his murder conviction, ordering Sluss a new trial. Prosecutors say during a hearing Friday, he pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter and first-degree assault.
Life for people left homeless by last week's fire in downtown Hazard is slowly returning to normal. Red Cross officials say several churches and community groups have been working to find affordable housing for fire victims. Robert Combs is in the process of moving into a new home. With the outpourings of support from the community, he says it is nice to know he's not alone.
That's one of the worst parts about not having a home or nothing like that, because you might be surrounded by other people in the same situation, but you still feel like it's just you that feels that way.
Red Cross officials say everybody who lost their home has a new address and hopefully will be moving out of the shelter soon. Teddy bears are wanted by the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. Deputies give the teddy bears to children involved in accident or who witness crimes such as domestic violence. They sometimes go out and spend their own money on teddy bears. The campaign starts October 1st, and teddy bears can be dropped off at Martin Insurance in London.
It is one of the first of its kind, and it is located at Hazard Community and Technical College. A 3-bedroom house on campus is a smart energy training center. College officials say students from most programs will benefit from this new large addition.
Place where students can work in the various phases of construction. It's meant for students to be able to install, uninstall, and reinstall various systems while getting trained in the latest technologies such as solar panels and geothermal.
The hands-on experience is so invaluable when it comes to employment, because they can talk to employers about, I actually have done this.
Thanks to the help of new technology, campus officials hope to see a continued increase in enrollment while unlocking a piece of history.
Students and alumni at Somerset Community College came together for a special moment. WYMT's Angela Reigert shows us what happened as they traveled back 50 years in time.
For 50 years, something special was hidden behind this wall, but with a little effort,
sure it'll come loose. Very good.
A piece of history was revealed, a time capsule from 1965.
It feels wonderful that they're preserved, you know, for 50 years.
Edna Jackson graduated from Somerset Community College in 1967. She helped put in the time capsule all those years ago.
Just so we would have memories, you know, later on. Did we know we'd be around 50 years to open it and, you know, see what was going on?
Newspapers, graduation programs, a Bible. These were the items locked away, not to be seen for 50 years.
It tells the story about Somerset Community College, and it tells about how small we were then and where we are now.
The class of 2015 decided to carry on the tradition, placing something special inside the box.
Put in a brochure that tells about the program, so in case 50 years later the program no longer exists, they'll know what the program was for and what we did.
A new time capsule will soon be placed behind that wall, not to be opened until 2065. In Pulaski County, Angela Reigert, WYMT Mountain News.
Folks at the college decided not to lock the capsule yesterday. They say they want to wait for a few more mementos before they seal it up. One Floyd County man cannot seem to slow down. 87-year-old Willard Kinzer has been racing his whole life, but began drag racing at the age of 80. He says his fastest speed was 253 miles per hour in just a little more than 6 seconds, and he will continue racing as long as he is able to.
There's just something about the speed that it just gets the adrenaline going, and it's hard to explain, really.
Kinzer will be in North Carolina Thursday to race in the Professional Drag Race Series for 4 days.
Apple announces its latest innovations, and Netflix will soon be streaming all the way to Asia. I'm Marley Hall, and I'll have those stories and more coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Later in sports, we heard from McGoffin County Tuesday night. How about the other team in our game of the week? The Betsy Lane Bobcats. We hear from them next.
The rain chances continue today as cooler temperatures take over. I'll break down your full forecast coming up right after the break.
Chris was just saying to make sure if you're sending your children off to school today to make sure they have their rain gear.
Yeah, rain gear will definitely be handy this morning as you head out and tackle this Thursday, but temperature's pretty mild to start things off as well. Let's take over that temperature map now. Showing you those readings in the upper 60s across a good chunk of real estate here in eastern Kentucky. The warm spot over in Monticello right now at 70 degrees, and that's also the case there in central Kentucky over in Lexington and Louisville. Now, temperature-wise, later on this afternoon, we're not going to really climb that much. We're going to see highs top out in the mid-70s. And the chance for some more of those scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, but I think better thunderstorm chances will arrive as we head into your Friday afternoon. Now here's a look at that bus stop forecast. Of course, rain going to be likely this morning. Send the kids out, the little ones, pack the rain gear with them. That umbrella will definitely be handy for much of this morning. And of course, later on this afternoon as well. Live pinpoint showing a busy scene. Lots of green showing up on the radar, and this is all tracking from the southwest, heading slowly towards the north and east. And we're seeing some more moderate showers back across the Cumberland Valley. Folks there from Somerset over to London, just southeast of London, picking up on a more moderate shower with some yellows, even a little bit of red showing up, indicating some of the heavier rainfall. But this is all because of this stationary front. It was actually that same cold front that moved through last night. Well, moved through and now beginning to pump on the brakes, so it's kind of stalled out. We're seeing the stationary front run from the southwest through eastern Tennessee, just southeast of Kentucky. And this is heading towards the mid-Atlantic region. And we're also watching the upper level disturbance move through along this boundary, and that's providing those showers that we're seeing across a good chunk of eastern Kentucky, even eastern Tennessee, with some thunderstorms back across middle Tennessee. But we're not done there just yet. Once this system slowly moves through, we're going to see a secondary front. And this is going to bring our cool shot of air back across portions of the Dakotas. And this is going to track towards the south and east, eventually heading back into the Commonwealth. So taking a similar track as the previous cold front did. And of course, that's also going to bring the threat for some more showers, maybe a few thunderstorms as we head into your Friday afternoon, and those will linger into your Saturday as well. Now, starting Future View off at 9 o'clock this morning, we'll take you through the next 48 hours. And it does a pretty good job picking up on some of the rain, especially through mid-morning. We'll hold on to some scattered showers later on this afternoon into the first part of your evening before we'll eventually dry things out. And I think through the overnight hours, despite it being cloudy, we will dry things completely out. And that'll be the case for the start of your Friday. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine early on for your Friday morning, but don't enjoy it too long because, well, we're going to see those rain chances begin to increase back from the northwest. That secondary front I was talking about arrives on our doorstep, eventually works through central Kentucky. This bulk of rainfall is going to work through eastern Kentucky through tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. That'll spill over into the first part of your weekend. So if you do have any outdoor festivities plans, maybe the Gingerbread Festival, you're heading to that over in Hindman, well, pack the umbrellas because it's definitely going to be possibly a soggy one and cooler as well. You might need a light jacket because temperatures, well, we're talking upper 60s for afternoon highs for this weekend. Not only for your Saturday, but that'll be the case for Sunday as well. And the good news is high pressure looks to gain control as we head into Sunday afternoon. So some much needed sunshine makes an appearance along with those cooler temperatures, but we eventually warm things back up into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees by next midweek. Let's take over to Refrigerator Art this morning, see what we have behind the magnets. Love showcasing all the beautiful art from the kids here across eastern Kentucky. A nice photo sent in from Patrick over at May Valley Elementary. Just a nice scene here. Looks like a bunch of trees and a nice blue sky sitting in the background. So that's not the case today. We're dealing with those overcast skies, of course, and lots of rainfall, but maybe later on this weekend into early next week, folks can get out and enjoy the nice weather. So
let's hope so.
Yep.
All right, let's get to today's Facebook fan of the day.
Our handpicked fan this morning is Elizabeth Brown from Pikeville. Congrats, Elizabeth.
You can register to become our Facebook fan of the day by visiting the WYMT Facebook page and then clicking on the Fan of the Day link at the top of the page. You can also find more info there on some of the perks of signing up.
This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
Kentucky is 1-0. Its win over Louisiana Lafayette may not have been pretty, but it was a win. A lot of chatter from the fans about the play of junior quarterback Patrick Towles. Towles completed 16 of 34 passes for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns with 1 interception. The only message from head coach Mark Stoops: settle down, relax, and just play football.
I think he put a lot of pressure on himself. I think he cares a great deal and wanted to play very well and put a lot of pressure on himself, and that's the only thing I'll tell him is just settle in and just be who he is, you know. So I don't want to get too much in his head and overcoach that. I'm very confident in him, and he'll make the throws, but just like everybody else on our team, he'll be held accountable at some point, and you got to go.
Just west of Lexington and Louisville, Bobby Petrino and the Cardinals are looking to bounce back from their Week 1 loss to Auburn. The Cardinals host the Houston Cougars this weekend at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. While Louisville may be 0-1, Houston is 1-0 after beating Tennessee Tech last week. Petrino knows the Cougars will be a tough athletic matchup for his Cardinals.
I really like our team. I like our attitude of our guys, and they certainly showed their competitive spirit. We've got to try to build on that and get ready for this game Saturday. Houston's a good football team. They've got some speed on offense. They've got speed on defense. Their linebackers can really run, and they've got a lot of experience. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. We got to do a good job of getting ready for it for Saturday.
On Tuesday, you heard from Scotty McCoy and the Magoffin County Hornets. Yesterday, Lauren Cash met up with head coach Jonathan Parsons and Betsy Lane as they prepare for this Friday's game of the week.
For the second time in school history, the Betsy Lane Bobcat football team is one of the 2 teams in our game of the week.
Game of the week is huge for me. I love watching it. It's something I record and watch. I don't care if it's anybody that we play in district or without. It's something awesome. You know, listen to Jim Frazier. Love listening to him on TV and stuff. He's a Betsy Lane guy, and it's awesome.
Betsy Lane won the last 2 meetings over the Hornets. However, Friday's game will be the first win of the 2015 season for one of them.
You have to do hard work, do assignments and alignments, keep our head straight, and be a team. Yeah, they're big, they're pretty strong, they're stout, they got a good left tackle.
Both Magoffin County and Betsy Lane lost a huge chunk of their production to graduation last year. Both are young, but hungry.
Magoffin, they're a physical team. Coach McCoy does a good job with them every year, and I guarantee this Friday they'll be as physical as they are every year against us.
The last time Betsy Lane was in our game of the week, they lost at home to Leslie County. They'll look to put one in the win column on Friday. With the Bobcats, Lauren Cash, WYMT Mountain Sports.
Betsy Lane at Magoffin County, our Appalachian Wireless game of the week this Friday night from Salyersville. Both teams 0-3 on the season. Kickoff set for 7:30. Coverage of the game begins at 7. You can watch the game live on this TV or stream it online at WYMT.com. Betsy Lane won last season's meeting 52-36. And that is a final look at sports this morning.
The time is coming up on 6:21.
And here's a preview of what you'll see later today on CBS This Morning.
I'm Gail King. Coming up, the Fresh Faces of Fashion Week, how the event is challenging what it means to be beautiful. That's coming up on CBS This Morning.
Toyota unveiled an all-new Prius that the company expects to achieve about 55 miles per gallon. That marks an expected 10% improvement over the 2015 model's average of 50 miles per gallon. The 2016 Prius was unveiled at a Toyota dealer event in Las Vegas Tuesday. It will go on sale early next year. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg snagged the top spot on Vanity Fair's 21st annual ranking of the most powerful people in business and media. The list is broken up into 2 categories: disruptors and the powers that be. Zuckerberg is the youngest person ever to top the new establishment list. Singer Taylor Swift is #1 on the powers that be list. Puerto Rico still lacks enough money to pay back its debt. Right now, there is a $28 billion gap between what Puerto Rico must pay bondholders over the next 5 years and what the country can actually pay. The Puerto Rican government just released its plan to plug the gap. Even after all the proposed spending cuts and tax increases, the island would still be unable to pay back $14 billion. In total, Puerto Rico owes about $72 billion to its creditors. The stock markets closed down yesterday and Netflix is expanding. Marley Hall has more in our CBS Money Watch report.
Apple is expected to unveil its iPhone 6s and 6s Plus models at an event today. And for selfie fanatics, the phones are expected to have even better photography and flash capabilities. We'll likely also learn about the new version of Apple TV. U.S. stocks rallied on Tuesday. The Dow closed up 390 points. The Nasdaq jumped 128.
The CEO of United Airlines and 2 other top executives have resigned amid a federal corruption investigation. A grand jury is looking into whether they tried to win favor with the ex-chairman of New York area airports by adding a direct flight between Newark, New Jersey and Columbia, South Carolina, where the chairman kept a vacation home. At the time, United was seeking approval for millions in improvements at Newark Liberty International Airport.
Sofia Vergara of Modern Family and Kaylee Cuoco Sweeting of The Big Bang Theory lead Forbes' list of television's highest paid actresses. Each banked $28.5 million before taxes. That's your Money Watch. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. In New York, I'm Marley Hall.
Plenty of rainfall making its way across eastern Kentucky this morning. Let's take over to Live Pinpoint as we track it all out for you. Lots of green showing up across central and eastern Kentucky, and that's all tracking towards the north and east. So folks there in Somerset dealing with a little bit more moderate of a shower, and that's heading towards London, just southeast of London. Also, picking up on a pretty good shower there. And this is all tracking off towards the northeast, eventually heading into other parts of eastern Kentucky. And we're going to hold on to those rain chances later on this afternoon as well. Temperatures, though, only climbing into the middle 70s for highs this afternoon. We'll see the chance for a few more of those hit-and-miss showers as well. And temperature-wise, it's just going to remain on the unseasonably cooler side. And that'll be the case not only for today, but as well as we head into the latter part of our week and much of the weekend. So not a lot changing as far as temperatures is concerned, just really cooling things off. And a look at that 7-day forecast showing those temperatures. Well, they're just dropping off. We're talking upper 60s for highs on Saturday. That'll be the case for Sunday as well. We'll finally dry things out, though, as we head into your Sunday afternoon. High pressure going to regain control, and that's going to bring a lot of sunshine back into the forecast into early next week. Temperatures, though, rebounding back into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees by next midweek. Let's get a check of the lottery numbers this morning. Don't forget, tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $106 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $167 million. The time now is 6:27. You're watching Mountain News This Morning right here on WYMT.
Not everyone can easily get to a grocery store.
So wouldn't it be great if the store could actually come to them? Rick Wells climbs aboard the R&G Family Grocers truck that has been making regular stops around Oklahoma City.
This is the regular Wednesday stop at Disciples Village, a senior housing complex. Inside, residents are grocery shopping.
Hi, how are you?
These ladies are picking up some fresh fruit and vegetables. There are also meat, eggs, dairy products, even a small frozen food section, and of course, shelves full of grocery items.
This was a horse trailer?
Yes, 9-horse horse trailer.
Now it's a one-aisle grocery store on wheels. Katie Plohocki is president and executive director of the Healthy Community Store Initiative. The idea is to bring healthy food options to people who might not have them otherwise. Because they're small, they don't have access to the wholesale grocery suppliers the big boys use, so she shops.
Today's Wednesday, all the new sales are out there. I know where I need to go shopping for the next week to pick up who has strawberries on sale, who has tomatoes on sale.
And they harvest some locally grown produce, get good deals on items that might not sell well at the farmer's market.
We go out and pick, and my customers love the big cucumbers. They feel like they're getting a better value. And we're selling for 25 cents.
The store makes 14 stops 6 days a week. They'd do more if they could.
We have a huge waiting list, unfortunately.
They hope to have a second store up and running early next year. In the meantime, just do what they can.
There's your receipt, 10, 11, and 31 cents.
Rick Wells, News on 6.